Mexico. The mere mention of its name conjures almost cartoonish images of desert landscapes, mariachi, and sombreros, all real part of the culture that has been reconstituted and served up in Hollywood movies as entertainment, filling our head with caricatures of a real-life place in people. One of the most commercialized parts of the culture is Mexican food. Whether it's rebranded by a chain or something else, there's a lot of it out there. Most of it not too complex or anywhere near the real thing. The real Mexico is not the Mexico in Western movies, all fast food drive-thrus. It's deeper than a taco stand and more than just an empty desert scene, and its ways are rooted in real tradition. St. Louis may be nowhere near the border of Mexico, but if you know where to look here, you'll find much more than just a character of its food. As a chef, I need to stay curious in order to evolve. For me, that means looking beyond a great meal to learn more about who made it and what inspires them to cook. Every great city has great food. I'm going on a journey around the world right here in St. Louis to find good food and experience other cultures. I'm on a quest to find passionate chefs who cooks from the heart. Because food is love.
It's gonna be delicious.
Food is love. Love your food. With Mexico bordering most of the southern half of the U.S., it's no surprise that many parts of its culture are embedded in the day-to-day of American life. Mexican food, of course, is no exception. Sure, there is many Americanized versions of Mexican food, and in all fairness, they're good in their own right. But to find an authentic Mexican restaurant, you would have to know what to look for. I'm at La Chata Mexican Restaurant. Hot peppers, here I come. To learn what to look for. Leticia Perez, proprietor and chef at La Chata, is carrying on the food traditions of her upbringing in the state of Jalisco, Mexico.
So this is how we roast the peppers. We just put them in open flame.
And it blisters.
And it blisters. It's how we do it.
Okay.
In an open flame.
As one of 18 children, cooking was an ever-present part of her childhood. Looking at it now, it seems inevitable that she has developed a love for it.
So the reason for this is to get the skin off. So you're actually burning the skin, right? So it will be easier to peel them, and because the skin is kind of tough. But also you are cooking in a way the pepper. You can hear.
It's talking to you.
The skin, yes.
You know, I can almost hear what it's saying. It's saying tequila.
And when the pepper is all roasted, we peel them.
Salsa plays an integral role in Mexican cuisine. A long list of pepper varieties that grows there means there are a much broader variety of salsas too. Not just the red sauce you're probably thinking of right now. Chips and salsa, is that when you eat as an appetizer, is that a American Mexican thing, or is that?
It is an American thing.
Okay.
Because we don't eat chips and salsa in Mexico. We don't actually eat chips like we do here. No, we have totopos, that are the corn chips fried, that we add to our beans, or we cook the food with those. But it's not like an appetizer that we eat over there. We use it mainly as our spoon.
So does peppers just grow everywhere like weeds? Or?
Yes, the peppers grow everywhere like weeds. Mexico is the homeland of the pepper. The peppers were domesticated by the Indians like 6,000 years before Christ. And when the Spanish conquistadors, they took them to Spain, and the Portuguese took them to China. So ones went through the Pacific and the other ones went through the Atlantic, and it's how they spread the peppers. Pretty much we have the peppers here that we use in Mexican cuisine.
Well, there's a lot of them.
Yes. We use them in both forms. We use them dry and we use them fresh. Mainly the dry ones, we use them for moles, and the fresh ones, we use them for salsas.
And mole is?
It means sauce. So it's a sauce made out of different ingredients, but the main ingredient will be peppers, dry peppers. We're gonna make the mole. So we normally clean the peppers. We take the seeds out. and the veins here. And this is what we use. In Mexico, when we were babies and we suck our tongue, you know, for us, it was something that they did to us. They put pepper on our tongue so we don't suck our tongues.
And it works.
And it works, yes.
Yeah.
This is a Mexican chocolate.
So you get that in a Mexican grocery
Yes,
store?
you can get this in the Mexican store. We use it a lot. We use it for regular drinks. If you mix this with milk, you have hot chocolate, and you can make it in the mole like we're gonna use it now.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
we have some chicken broth here that we're gonna put in our blender, and then we're gonna add our chocolate. We're gonna add our. We do the tortillas and the bread to thicken the sauce. It's our thickened ingredient.
So it's like instead of flour.
Instead of flour, right. We put the tomato, and we put our bread, and we're gonna blend all that.
Very good.
You know, this sunflower seeds and the pumpkin seeds, and we have our almonds, we have our raisins. This is a traditional recipe, but it's how my mom used to make it for us. So we have the garlic and the onions, and we have all our spices here. Let's just blend all this. Now we're gonna blend our peppers. We fry them already, and we put them in hot water to hydrate them,
reconstitute, yeah.
reconstitute them. Now we're gonna blend our peppers.
So the mole, is that something you traditionally eat for holidays, or it's like day to day?
Yeah, it's a very traditional dish, and we use it to celebrate. We don't eat mole every day because you can see it's very time consuming.
Yeah.
So we put a little lard in here. So we're gonna strain this, and we're just gonna cook this for like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna incorporate our chocolate and all spices with your mole, and we're gonna cook this.
So how long would you say it needs to cook?
Probably like an hour.
That's the difference an hour makes. See the colors?
The colors.
Yeah.
These colors, these peppers, and these ingredients are already cooked.
Yeah.
And they are blended together.
How would you say food is love in Spanish?
La comida es amor.
Okay. La comida es amor. Isn't that the truth?
So if you cook with your love and your heart, your food is always going to be good.
I couldn't have said it better than that.
I know here in the States they tend to call pico de gallo to the salsa mexicana, but the pico de gallo for us is fruit. And we use, instead of fresh peppers, we use flake chile de árbol peppers. In Jalisco, we make the pico de gallo with jicama.
What is jicama?
Jicama is a root. This is a jicama. It's a fruit. So we put some of our jicama here, some cucumbers, or orange, or tangerines, and we use flakes. This is the difference. We use red pepper flakes.
That's very interesting.
And of course, some salt. We just eat it like this.
On the side, it's like a
On the
side dish?
side, like a
Or
side dish.
Like a salad, maybe?
Like a salad.
So this is pico de gallo.
Pico de gallo.
It's delicious.
This is called ametate. And we have a hand. We normally use, or the Indians use this to crush the corn. You put it in here, and then with your hand, you're gonna press it until you mash it. You see?
It's kind of like a mortar and pestle, it's just a lot
Yes,
bigger.
but it's bigger. No hay una. Keep grinding, and then you push it all the way here, and then you have your grind ingredients.
A prehistoric blender.
Yes, this is our blender, and to this date, we still use these metates and these molcajetes in some areas of Mexico. And now we have some steak tacos, and you can use any of the sauces that you like to try.
All right. Okay, I want to see if you're doing the same thing or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna use some salsa mexicana.
And thank you
Salud.
very much.
You're
Salute.
very welcome.
Food is love.
Food is love. Love your food.
So many different salsas and flavors. One of the most rewarding part of cooking is that I'm always learning new things. It's thought-provoking to try something as simple as salsa that I've never had before, and to be blown away by it.
So these are our poblano skins. It's roasted poblano peppers with Chihuahua cheese. It's a cheese that it was introduced to Mexico by the Mennonites. They're still in Mexico. There is a large community in Chihuahua, and that's why the cheese is named Chihuahua cheese, because it comes from them, from Chihuahua. So it's what we use, the way we serve them. You have the roasted peppers with the cheese, and then we put salsa mexicana in here. We just put some sour cream in here. This is our poblano skins. So we're doing the chicken for the mole. So we add some of the mole sauce.
The aromas is just incredible. You can smell the chocolate, the cinnamon, the cloves.
It's our mole poblano.
It is so good.
My pleasure, guys.
I'm gonna get fatter. I'm already fat. A day in the kitchen cannot officially be over until we've had a drink. Ironically, another sort of caricature of Mexican culture is tequila. Equally as interesting as the origin of the tequila culture itself. Where's the origins, you ask? Well, Jalisco, Mexico, of course. It explains why La Chata boasts the biggest tequila selections anywhere in St. Louis. Tequila is in a lot of ways as sophisticated and complex as wine, maybe even more so. In that respect, you can consider Leticia sort of a sommelier of tequila.
So we have 3 levels of tequila. We have the tequila blanco, the reposado, and the añejo. Tequila blancos or silvers are aged no more than 2 months. So they come straight from the distillery to the bottle. The reposados, they can be aged from 2 months to a year.
So reposado, what does that mean?
Reposado means rested.
Rested.
So they need to rest in the
So
barrels.
kind of like aged?
Aged, at least 2 months to a year. And the añejos, they need to at least age for a year to 2-3 years. And of course, we have the extra añejos that can be aged more than that. And they're a little bit different. Of course, this is the flavor, the traditional flavor and the smell of the tequila. And you can try a little bit. You can just put it in your mouth and kind of keep it for a little bit, and it will give you the flavor of the agave. So this one, it's the reposado, and it's been aged at least a year. So you can tell the difference on the smell and on the flavor. The aromas are different.
They're changing.
Right, the profiles are different too. And then we move into the añejo, which this one has to be aged at least a year. And now we're also doing tequila dinners where we pair the tequila with food. So we serve a 5-course meal that we're pairing the food with the tequila.
So what? Tell me about how you pair that. What are you pairing it with?
We look at the profile of the tequila and the flavors that will go perfect with the tequila. Now the reposados and the añejos they do better with dishes that there is a lot of butter or creamy dishes. So we can prepare food that goes along with those tequilas.
It's all about learning something new.
Right.
Yeah.
You need, that's the good thing about life. You know, we can always learn something and enjoy that.
Now I know why you had 17 siblings.
I guess my father liked tequila a lot.
Who knew there were so many kinds, all tequila for different occasions, and that it's supposed to be served in a flute? It creates a lot more respect for the care that's put into it. But as a responsible guest, I know when I've hit my limit, and so I must go before I become a character of myself. Cherokee Street is home to a large number of Mexican and Latin American businesses. Walking down the sidewalk, you get the feeling that you're somewhere south of the border. A preparation for a family birthday party. Leticia has invited me to do a little shopping here at the Latin American grocery store to find some things that aren't available many other places.
It's always been a Hispanic area, or what's the story behind that?
It's been a place for immigrants. It's a big Hispanic population here, but they're all mixed with people from all other countries. So this is a place where people feel safe and they come over.
Yeah,
and
it's a melting pot.
It's a melting pot.
Yeah, but
yes.
right now we're in the Mexican
We're in the Mexican
pot.
side. Yes.
Let's go shopping and see what they have in
shopping.
here. Well, look at that.
The chorizo, the carnes adobadas. It looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, fajitas.
We have fajitas.
Carne al pastor, I love
Carne
that.
al pastor.
Is that what makes that red
Oh,
color
no.
on
The peppers.
the peppers?
You know the peppers that we use for the mole? It's the peppers. They use ancho and guajillo to marinate this meat.
I mean, it's some unusual cuts of meats. You don't normally see that.
No, costillas like here the bisteces. Our bisteces here in America we eat big steaks. In Mexico, no, we don't. These are our steaks. So they're really big, but they're really thin. So you can slice it to make tacos, or you can just eat it like a whole and put a big piece of your meat in the taco.
I keep coming back to chicken feet. In the Asian cuisine, they use it. In the French cuisine, we use it to make the soups and sauces gelatinous.
Right, right. So it's what we use. When we were kids, we used to fight for those.
Oh, yeah?
We wanted to have one of those at the end, but there is only 2 or 4, right?
Yeah.
So we have to fight for those. We have the avocados, the tomatoes.
What is this?
Savila, that is savila, the aloe vera plant. We have the nopales here.
Prickly pears.
And the prickly pears.
Yeah, you call it tuna?
Tuna. There is tuna roja and tuna blanca or verde.
This is all the
grains.
This is the grains, and this is all the dried.
The dried peppers.
So this is a good place to get it.
This is a good place. Peppers are half fresh, the color, so fresh. The chile de árbol. You know the salsa that we made with the oil? Mm-hmm. They look so pretty. And we have all the spices here. We like to do also a lot of the skin. We pickle the skin, the pork skin, we call it cueritos.
So is it raw pickled?
No, it's cooked. And then they put it in vinegar and fruit.
But it's not, like it's not crispy.
No, it's soft. It's soft.
I've never seen that before.
No, but we have to eat that. And we have also the patas, the pig feet, also in vinegar or in curtido. Oh, here are the chocolate. That's what we use for the mole. You can find pretty much everything here.
In this area?
In this area.
Yeah.
The stuff in here has my head spinning with new ideas. I mean, where else can you find chicken feet and prickly pear cactus in the same aisle?
That's all we need, I think, right? I found a lot of inspiration.
I'll see you tomorrow at the party, don't forget.
Yes, I'll be there.
Be there to eat some menudo and some pozole.
I know I'm going to love it.
Growing up, Leticia and her siblings shared a memory, being able to request their favorite dish on their birthday. Across the continent and sands of time, from Jalisco to St. Louis, they've kept the tradition alive. The table's set, and the birthday tradition is about to begin. And lucky for me, I have a seat at the table.
In Mexico, food is very important. It's what it keeps us together. If we're going to celebrate a birthday, we eat.
Yeah.
It's always what brings us together.
Yeah.
My mom used to cook for us on our birthday. We have 17 birthdays, right? So we have every month there is a couple of birthdays in my family. So my mom used to cook for us our favorite dish on our birthday, So like for me, it was a pollo en chipotle, pollo en mostaza, mustard. Chicken and mustard with carrots, and I remember every year my mom will make that for me, and it brings back, when I make that, it brings back memories.
Yeah.
Sometimes I make that chicken here for some of my friends, and it just brings back those memories, that I'm eating the chicken and I'm thinking of my mom and my father celebrating my birthday with me.
That is so awesome.
I mean, we eat anything that my mom would put on the table. I mean, we were a lot, so my mom was always cooking.
So, do you have you drawn from that inspiration from your parents? Your cooking style, is that?
From
Does
my
that
mother.
come from your mother? Okay.
Yes, it's all the recipes that we prepare here at the restaurant, those are my mom's recipes.
Okay. Right there, if you have 17 kids, I can only imagine the dinner table.
So we grew up in different times, you know.
Yeah.
So, but the table was always full. It was at least 8 to 9 people eating. I was born in Jalisco, but I went to school. I went to SIUE. So I came over to study. So, and after I finished my master's, my father and my mom were already here. And he wanted to open a restaurant, so he's like, so do you want to do that? And I'm like, yes, I'll help you. And that helped become this, what you see now.
You didn't plan to be a chef or a restaurant owner?
No, I didn't plan to be a chef.
Yeah.
Before my father passed 5 years ago, everybody, all my brothers and sisters will come over here every Sunday and enjoy with us dinner. You know, so this was a place to meet, and we cook for the family, and that's what keeps the family going.
Yeah.
And for the menudo, what you do, you add some of these peppers. You can just break them.
So just break them like this?
Yes, just go like this and break it on your plate.
Make a difference.
Like this?
Yes.
Is it the seeds I want in there?
No, you want everything.
I want everything in there, okay.
Yeah.
Those are very hot, Chef. So.
They're very hot. Okay, you think I can handle it?
Probably, well, let's see.
Well,
That's it.
okay.
We need you.
Yeah.
So, okay.
You put it in your hand, and then you go like this.
I see.
That gives a lot more flavor. So go ahead and do that. Get some in your plate. It's never. And just go like this.
To warm it up, wow.
And just let it fall in your plate.
I've heard a lot about this soup, and everybody, you know, in the kitchen that ever worked for me that were Hispanic was telling me about it, but I've never had it. It's delicious. I love it. It's not too hot. I can handle it.
Like I said, it's part of our culture. It's what we do. You know, we help each other and we cook for each other, and it's how we express our love through food.
Well, when I said it wasn't very hot, I'm changing my mind now.
So this is a very traditional meal.
There's so many restaurants out there. This is a spot that is unique. Your food is really unique.
I like St. Louis. It's like my second home now. I've been here 30-some years. That's why I decided to stay here.
So the music is different too, because you wouldn't think you would have piano music, right?
Right.
In a Mexican restaurant. Very interesting. I believe the only way to truly take in an experience is to let go of your preconceived ideas about it, push the stereotype and caricatures aside, and jump in. I liked it.
I enjoy cooking. I enjoy cooking for people, cooking for my friends. I love cooking. Like you said, food is love, so it's how you transmit. You know, like our hearts are kitchens, and we feed everybody from our hearts.
I like that.
It's the Olmec. It's an Olmec tradition from the Olmec tribes. They say our hearts are kitchens.
For me, this experience embodies a lot what makes St. Louis a great food city. Leticia welcomed me into her kitchen, shared her recipes, and included me in her family traditions. When you've been in the kitchen as long as I have, you know what quality makes someone a good chef. Leticia clearly has all of that. But what makes her exceptional is something else she brings to the table. She's humble. Her love for cooking and what it means to her is evident. We spoke very little of the pandemic sweeping the world. At a time when everything is upside down, sometimes there is no better shelter for a chef than in a kitchen, even as many of our peers are losing theirs. When you've left the place you grew up, it's comforting to eat and cook familiar foods. And lucky for us, Leticia came to St. Louis to carry on that tradition here. I have taken a veal shank and braced it in mole. and I call it veal shank la chata. The St. Louis food scene is full of beautiful stories. Please support your local restaurants whenever you can. Food is love.